Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Eagles and Saints meet for the second straight year. 30th regular season meeting going back to 1967. Saints have won 3 of the 4 playoff meetings as you look at the William Penn statue. William Penn founded Philadelphia in 1682. Good weather this afternoon for November football, and it's starting to feel like November as the playoff picture begins to unfold. New Orleans would be the 6th seed if the playoffs were to start today. The Eagles would be on the outside looking in. Carolina has the last spot at 5-5. Minnesota and San Francisco both ahead of the Eagles, who won the toss and deferred. Will be Jake Elliott to kick away. Deontay Harris will take the knee, and out to the 25-yard line will come the New Orleans Saints offense. Third consecutive start for Trevor Siemian. Entered in the second quarter of that Tampa Bay game for the injured Jameis Winston. One big key so far, 1 fumble lost, no interceptions in his time so far this season. Good work holding on to the ball. Really smart player, really calm, cool, collected in the pocket under pressure. On first down, he'll look sideline. Underthrown ball purposefully to try to get Callaway into a good spot. Steven Nelson, who's been targeted a lot opposite Darius Slay, with good coverage to bring up second down and 10. Talk to me about the Saints offense.
Well, you know, it really comes down for me, wide receiver Deontay Harris. He's a guy that really has not only top-level speed and quickness, but is a very friendly target, and a guy that Siemian has really come up and really developed a relationship with here in these last 2 starts.
Career-high 84 yards at Tennessee last week. We'll hand it off to Mark Ingram, who became the all-time leading Saints rusher last week. Good gain of 6 to set up a third down and medium. On the other side for this Philadelphia defense, what sticks out?
Well, I tell you, this defense is kind of a give but don't break, but Davion Taylor has been electric the last couple of weeks. You want to talk about speed, sideline to sideline, and when he hits you, you are hit. You stop.
2 forced fumbles last week against Denver. He's off with the extra defensive back on. Four-man rush. Check down for Ingram. He needs the 35, and he's got the first down. Run out by TJ Edwards. So obviously Mark Ingram, who played 57 snaps last week at Tennessee, the most he's played in 6 years, is going to be the main target out of the backfield. Alvin Kamara is out for a second consecutive game. They're missing both tackles this week, as Teron Armstead is out for a second straight game. Ryan Ramczyk on the right side is out. That's why Landon Young, the rookie, is starting for the first time in his NFL career at left tackle. Here is Tony Jones Jr., who returns from IR and gets greeted rudely by TJ Edwards.
Really love TJ Edwards on this, because what he does is he stays right where he's at. He stays home. He understands they're going to come back with a cutback. You see the tight end flow across, or Callaway flow across. He knows, all right, that ball is coming back to me. That's the indicator. Bam! Hit it, stop it right there for nothing.
When you hear the phrase reading your keys, that's what you mean. TJ Edwards read his key that time. Nearly caught by Adam Troutman on the screenplay, but couldn't corral it, and it's third down and long for New Orleans.
This is where you got to be careful. Anytime you're in third down and long, we've got to help. They call it, and Sean Payton calls it, challenge situations. This is a challenge situation, meaning, man, I've got 2 new starters outside at my tackle position in Hurst and also in Landon Young. I've got to make sure I protect those guys on third down and long.
Pressure coming from Philadelphia. Siemian hit as he throws. Incomplete. The rare blitz from the Eagles, who blitz at a very low rate, but it's Avonte Maddox, the nickelback, who just signed a new extension, coming in hot.
Yeah, well, he's coming off of here. They're coming linebacker across the way. Everybody off the edge, 2 edge defenders, and there's Maddox. They turn the protection the opposite way to the left. Maddox is wide open on the right-hand side of the offense, untouched.
3-year, $22 million extension signed on Saturday for Avonte Maddox in his 4th year out of Pitt. Blake Gillikin has been rock solid this year. An absolute boomer back to the 4-yard line. Here is Jalen Reagor. And he'll be knocked down by Garrett Griffin. Excellent 62-yard punt by Blake Gillikin. One shy of his career long. Jalen Hurts and the Eagles offense run heavy as of late. Back on the field next. Pick up their first home victory of the season. Keep pace with the rest of the crews in front of them in the wild card hunt. Jalen Hurts. See, his last 3 games, he leads quarterbacks in rushing yards. So he averaged 34 passes per game his first 7 games. He's averaging 18 passes a game the last 3. But they'll start an empty here. From the 15. Nice little comeback for Devontae Smith. The rookie is the leading receiver for Philadelphia. And he's run out of bounds by Jenkins and Lattimore. Well, we mentioned Avonte Maddox picking up an extension. His roommate and good buddy is Dallas Goedert. He signed a new extension the other day as well. And he's becoming a premier tight end. He can block at the point of attack on the backside and really a very efficient receiver. I really like this tight end. Welcome back to Miles Sanders, back in the lineup after missing the last 3 games with an ankle injury. Quan Alexander stops him a yard shy of the line to gain. David Onyemata is a big reason why this run defense is so good. I'm telling you, he plays with such power, physicality, but technique, and that's what sets him apart and why, honestly, this is the best run defense in all football. Only about 3 yards a pop against them. They've only given up 73 yards on the ground per game. That's why it was so shocking to see Philadelphia run all over them last year. Oh, trench warfare right here. And it's going to be a quarterback sneak for the first down. The line to gain was the 25. That's just a strength-on-strength matchup right there. The Saints trying to figure out where they're supposed to line up. I mean, they're flipping around. Always hard to do that. You just line up, snap the ball, and trust your big offensive line, physical offensive line. Look at the push. Goedert. Hurts in the back, getting him over that first down line. You heard the Eagles talk to us this weekend about matching the Saints' physicality in the run game. Here's Miles Sanders again. He churns ahead for about 4. So Miles Sanders in the game against Vegas where he got hurt in week 7, that was the week that Nick Sirianni decided, hey, let's start to implement the run a little bit more. Sanders got hurt that game, but he comes right back into the run-heavy offense now. Using a little pace, no huddle right now, trying to keep the personnel group on the field for the Saints. Riding that read with Sanders and giving it to him. Good job in open space to make that tackle by Paulson Adebo. We'll check the marker. Scott Novak is our lead official today.
There is no foul for illegal block in the back. Please set the play clock to 40 seconds.
Might have been looking at Goedert to see if there was a block in the back. After discussion, no call. Yeah, as he rose to the second level, you see him right here against Adebo, but I mean that's a good no call. There was no real forcible contact. He really didn't do anything there. I like the fact that they picked up that flag. I'm giving this official crew a check mark in the plus column right now. I feel like so you're basically treating them like second graders right now. You put their name up on the board and you put a little star next. Right. Nobody has to stay after school and write. I will not throw flags on the chalkboard. I don't want to hang out with Principal Schlereth. Here's Jordan Howard stuffed at the line. There's the #1 run defense in the league, and it's Christian Ringo who's been in and out of the lineup. He comes up with a big stop. Well, I want to. You watch what they do here. I mean, they're going to come knifing in here from this side, and Christian Ringo, a guy that's been up and down and all over the place, here he is executing that perfectly. And that's what we talk about. Why they're so good, Adam, is because they are so dialed together. They know their responsibilities, and under Dennis Allen, that defensive coordinator, they play them exceptionally well. Deontay Harris back to return. Aaron Sipos nearly had that one blocked. J.T. Gray got in and nearly got a fingertip on it. And a decent return by Harris. Decent field position for the Saints near the 35-yard line. Sean Bradley, former Temple Owl, on the stop. Very close. J.T. Gray nearly got there.
to chill.
Backup Gardner Minshew, quarterback coach Brian Johnson, who's very close with quarterback Jalen Hurts, going over the game plan. Trevor Siemian back in the saddle from the 34 for the Saints. A fake to Ingram. Intercepted. Picked off by T.J. Edwards. Siemian saw his man in Nick Vannett on that intermediate route, and T.J. Edwards read it perfectly for his second career pick.
T.J. Edwards, I mean, so smart. What great special, or just spatial awareness he has. So he's coming on a blitz and he recognizes this. Watch him. He's going to come down in here. He's going to go bam. Then he's going to peel out so Trevor never sees him off that blitz. He's got his back turned to him. Now he's just falling into that secondary route combination as Trevor Siemian's trying to go to Troutman, and he falls back off that blitz into that vacated space right there on the underneath throw. Really nice job by T.J. Edwards. He was a quarterback in high school, so he's got that really good field vision, that spatial awareness on the field.
Also played safety on the defensive side. Looked like it there reading that pass. Hurts, that one kind of floated out of his hand awkwardly, and it drops down harmlessly after all that. Incomplete. A lot of pressure from Marcus Davenport on Jalen Hurts.
Marcus Davenport, since he came back off IR week 4, Marcus Davenport, he's right up here. He has been really their best player. Look at the physicalities. He's just tossing tight ends. Lord have mercy. Double hand punch to the chest, driving people. Dennis Allen, the defensive coordinator, said he's really been their best player on the defense.
Second down, another pass. Hurts rifles that one on the move to Goddard. Good job in space by Quan Alexander. Third down's coming up. We're going to Carissa Thompson for a game break.
Thanks, Adam. Washington, Carolina. Cam Newton making his first home start in over 2 years, doing it in style. Cam finds DJ Moore for this 10-yard score. Carolina up early, 7-0. Adam?
Newton against Rivera, that classic matchup. They had so many big wins together in Carolina. Rivera on the other side for Washington. 3rd and 6. Hurts, another good throw, and it's a completion and a conversion to Goddard. First down inside the 20. Pickup of 16 yards.
Yeah, just inside. He's just going to run an out route right here on the sail, and watch him get leverage on the inside right there. Keep pin Jenkins to the inside as he breaks away from him. He's got all that space because he's running that route from the inside position, the slot position, open tight end. He's got all that space to the sideline.
Fake to Sanders. Hurts maneuvering. Tough throw to try to go back across his body, and Cameron Jordan, that 6'4", 287-pound frame, was right there.
Wow, what a great job flattening out from Cameron Jordan, making sure he cuts off the angle for Jalen Hurts so he can't get in there. And you'll see him right up here on the top, but watch him flatten his shoulders out as he spins back inside right here. Bam, spin around, flatten your shoulders, and just run down the sideline, not to him, but right where he's going to go to affect that throw.
You talk a lot about keeping square to the line when Hurts breaks contain, because if you don't stay square, he's going to outrun you.
He will outrun you. He's just a better athlete than you, and he knows it.
Hurts gives again, and it will be Miles Sanders working down near the 16-yard line.
And this is something you can do when you're the #1 run defense in football. You can sit there in 2 high safeties and say, we believe that our front 7, even though you have been great running the football, you become the 3rd best rushing offense in football, we trust our technique, we trust our physicality up front. They said that this was a strength-on-strength matchup. We're seeing it, but the Saints right now playing everything out of a kind of a 2 high split safety look. Basically saying we can get you with our front 7.
3rd down and 6. Out of the empty set. Hurts underneath Goddard. And he's got the first down. Dallas Goedert tumbling down just shy of the goal line. It's 1st and goal for Philadelphia. Alexander, the touchdown saving tackle.
I think he fell on top of the tackler. Was that Quan Alexander? Watch, as he runs this little out route right here, watch, he breaks this tackle right here, and now he falls on top of the defender.
They're going to go right back to the line to try to sneak it. A flag was thrown on the snap. A lot to sort out, but the ruling is touchdown. The ruling on the field is touchdown. We'll check the marker.
Offside. Defense lined up in the neutral zone. Penalties declined. Touchdown.
Jalen Hurts ran it twice on that drive. One on the sneak, and then the quick snap up on the quarterback sneak for the score.
Well, you can see it.
Oh, yeah,
look
easily.
at the line of scrimmage. He's crossed the ball right there.
Jalen Holmes clearly in the neutral zone. A good call by Philadelphia to hurry up. Even though they were looking at that play, they ran it quick because they figured, hey, maybe the Saints won't be set. That was the case, and Hurts able to muscle it home. 6th rushing touchdown of the year for Jalen Hurts. Simeon and the Saints in an early hole, but a little bit of a delay as they continue to check upstairs. Every scoring play reviewed. It is confirmed. It is a touchdown. And Jake Elliott on for the extra point. A 7-0 start for Philadelphia, and it was off the T.J. Edwards interception, the first thrown by the Saints in 6 weeks. Edwards grabbed it, Hurts scored it, 7-0.
You know how some carriers give you so little for your old or busted phone?
Balanced attack so far for Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts. Dallas Goedert was key on that series with a couple of conversions. T.J. Edwards with his first pick of the season. And a quick strike score with Hurts punching it home. Deontay Harris, excellent kick returner so far this year. He'll get a crack from 1 yard deep. And good pursuit by this Philadelphia special teams unit. Patrick Johnson, Zach McPherson, all there for the stop. But you still have a chance at $100,000 of Terry's money. Just scan the QR code now and enter Fox's Super 6 NFL Sunday Challenge for your free chance at $100,000. Free to play. Just download the app and you can steal some money out of this magic floating briefcase. I really enjoyed talking with Trevor Siemian the other day. I know I'm capable of handling anything. I'm in a great system. I got a great play caller. I'm the best version of myself. You never know when you're going to get another chance, so it's special to be starting again. One play for Mark Ingram, and he'll pick up about 4.
You don't take anything for granted. When you've been a starter in this league and you're a 7th rounder and you know you've bounced around a little bit, when you get that opportunity, he said that he never thought he'd get another opportunity to be a starter in this league. You know, he thought he'd be a career backup from this point forward. To get that opportunity, to take advantage of that opportunity now is what he is trying to do here. And he's done that so far in 2 starts.
Here's Tony Jones Jr. right into the chest of Rodney McLeod. This is a big game for McLeod. Remember, a year ago in this matchup in Week 14, McLeod tore his left ACL, just came back in Week 4 this year, making his 8th start.
Yeah, really nice job rolling up there, 8-man front, reading exactly what's going on, and Rodney McLeod making a nice tackle.
There is Davion Taylor, who has been nursing a nagging knee issue. He said he was ready to go today. Down for now. Zone power did make a trip towards the medical tent. You see the brace on that left knee. Kind of got leg whipped by Marquez Callaway in the fray after that play. 3rd down and 4 coming up for New Orleans. They often pass on 3rd down. They've got 4 options in the pattern here. Jones stays in to block. Simeon incomplete. He's looking for Traquan Smith, and Avonte Maddox has been impactful early. Boy,
they're making Trevor Siemian get rid of the football. They have been being criticized here locally. Not enough blitz, not enough blitz. We've seen several now third down situations where they're bringing heat, they're bringing pressure. They did it again right there with McLeod coming up the middle.
A punt, a pick, and now a 3 and out by the Saints. Is Rager from the 22. Slips one tackle, can't get away from the second wave. There is a penalty marker thrown back near where the snap came. A couple of them, in fact.
Prior to the kick, holding, offense, number 50. That 10-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. First down.
Key penalty will give better field position to the Eagles. We're back after this from State Farm and Pepsi.
So if I was a primetime game show host, could I stick with the Rogers rate?
Yeah. State Farm has rates that fit any budget.
Thanks, man.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
This one's for every NFL fan who had to take down their framed Super Bowl poster because it didn't match the decor. You've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar.
So after the touchdown drive for Philadelphia, off a takeaway, the defense makes a strong stand, and now they get to start after the penalty from their own 42. 7 runs, 6 passes in the 13 snaps for Philadelphia's offense so far. Sanders looking for that hole. He had a big play just like this in the meeting last year. The longest run Sanders ever had was an 82-yarder against the Saints last season. Right along that same left sideline, he gets 25 here.
Yeah, you always have to love it when you've got a center right there that can do this. Look at him get around there, get to the second level, dispense a little justice. I mean, you got a 300-pound guy that can get out there and lead the way on the edge from the middle of the football field after he snaps the ball.
We love Jason Kelsey, one of the premier centers in the game. Hurts rolling right, trying to outrun Davenport. And Hurts ends up spilling. Got tripped up on that sideline there. I don't think that had much to do with what Davenport did. You see Mailata and Davenport meeting. Those two might be matched up a few times today.
Mailata over there. You got to love it when the O-line. Now that's right on the edge there as he's
close.
walking out.
Yeah, that's
I mean, I've seen that flag many times.
I've seen it called before, so had it been flagged, it would not have shocked me. And I think Mailata maybe did take a little bit of offense to it, and understandably so, stepping up for his quarterback.
He's in the Saints huddle right now. I mean, Mailata is a rugby player. Big, giant athlete at 6'8", 365 pounds.
Here is Hurts. Good open space tackle by Bradley Roby, but it ends up being a loss of a yard on the play.
Well, he's just reading right now. He's reading that defensive end. He sees Cam Jordan coming down, pulls the ball. You see how he came down? He was going to attack that mesh point, just kept it on the outside. Really nice job, though, by Bradley Roby being out there as a forced defender, outside in, making the tackle.
Keeps it at a third down. It'll be 3rd and 2. Another zone read play and a long read by Hurts. He kept it and took it down inside the 5. 20 yards for Jalen Hurts there.
It's just not fair. It is not fair. Watch how long he holds this ball in the belly of the back. Watch. Hold it. 1,001, 1,002, 1,003. Pull it when Jordan commits to the outside. And now he's gone off to the races for 1st and goal.
This time they'll give it to Sanders. Just shy of the line. And he's brought down by Josiah Bronson, the rookie out of Washington, who is up from the practice squad again for his 3rd NFL game. 2nd and goal. We talked about the balance in the first couple of series. Nick Sirianni staying true to what's helped the last few games, the run game.
I love this about Nick Sirianni, too. Think about it. 63% pass in his first 7 games. He's completely flipped that script, a 63% run. He's evolved as a coach based on the personnel he has.
Wildcat look, Jordan Howard. And a flag is thrown. I think he was looking for a snap. And the flag ends up being tossed.
False start. Offense. Number 88. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Dallas Goedert got tagged with it.
Well, it was Stoll. It was everybody down here. Everybody's jumping together. Goedert, Stoll. Look at Kelsey. He's the guy that keeps everything locked up front. Not only has that speed and athleticism we talked about, but he really calls all the protections as well. One of the smartest football players. Forget about the Eagles, but just one of the smartest football players in the league.
Zone read again. Hurts, grab from behind by Cameron Jordan. We'll line it up at the 4, and it'll be 3rd down and goal for Philadelphia. Had some red zone issues earlier. They've been much better in the red zone as of late. Actually into the top 6 in touchdown percentage in this area of the field now.
So now they get the fake out there and they get Hurts on the edge with a run pass option. Get him outside the number or outside the hashes. See if you can orchestrate from there.
Hurts, he's got all the space in the world to run. Now he's going to take off, trying to beat Davis to the edge. And Demario Davis forced him out shy of the goal line. Just got a piece of Jalen Hurts, who was trying to break the plane and could not because of Davis.
Well, he had the ball in his right hand the whole way, so watch. As Davis comes out there, I don't think the ball crosses. He never gets it into the other hand. And you see, it's behind. I think it's behind.
That is a very close look, too. So now the fans are seeing it on the Jumbotron. You wonder if a challenge marker is going to be thrown at any point, and it is for Nick Sirianni. 2 for 3 on challenges this year. Let's see if it broke the plane. So it certainly feels like it broke the plane. The other question is, was he in bounds when that took place?
From that angle, but here, is that...
Clearly still his feet were in bounds.
Ruling on the field that the runner was short of the goal line.
So this will be interesting. It could be a second Hurts rushing touchdown if this is overturned.
Today, you have to do
just $9.99 a month.
Scott Novak let us know indeed Jalen Hurts broke the plane while still in bounds, and it is a second rushing touchdown for Jalen Hurts. 3rd time this year he's had 2 in a game. Carolina, Tampa Bay, and now today against New Orleans. So really just the NFC South is getting a taste of the Jalen Hurts rushing experience. We'll walk through the particulars of the play in a moment with Dean Blandino. Jake Elliott makes it 14-0. So, Dean, obviously pylon and goal line is what we're taking a look at. Walk me through some of the nuance here.
Yeah, so there's no goal line extended here because Hurts didn't get a body part down in the end zone. So it has to cross inside or over the pylon. You're going to see him reach with that right hand. It does break the plane. And then this is a great look for inside the pylon. Just gets the ball inside. Great job in replay to overturn that to a touchdown.
Yeah, extending the ball over or inside the pylon. If you haven't established in the end zone, Dean, we appreciate you walking us through it. Also, very, very sharp as per usual.
How about the awareness, though, of Jalen Hurts? That ball in the right hand, he can't get it over to the left hand because of Demario Davis hunting him down there. So he just slides it across his body inside the pylon. Really good awareness of where he is on the football field and where that pylon is.
Early 2-touchdown hole for Sean Payton's offense. Trevor Siemian trying to get back on track. Siemian had his best game, obviously in a very small sample size, but their best game passing last week against Tennessee. Deontay Harris back again. Out to the 25. Well, there's big games, and then there's the biggest games. And Big Noon Saturday has had the biggest games, and we've got as big as it comes. The game. Huge Big Ten East battle, Ohio State and Michigan. Ohio State can essentially lock it all up and clinch a spot in the Big Ten title game. Saturday coming up, it'll be Ohio State and Michigan, Big Noon kickoff at 10 Eastern. First 3 trips for the New Orleans offense. Get a 4th possession here in this opening period. Ingram. Good hole for this New Orleans front, and a good job of Ingram staying on his feet. Marcus Epps grabbed that leg and was able to trip him up, but 14 more for Mark Ingram.
Well, you've got Maddox coming inside hard, and he reads it. Look at the eyes, the vision pops outside. There's Maddox inside, and then what do I love about Ingram? He understands what he is. As soon as he breaks to the outside, the first thing he does, turn his shoulders square, get back downhill north and south.
Deep drop off the fake to Ingram. They find Ingram, and he works past the 45-yard line. Edwards on the stop after an 8-yard pickup there.
No panic here by the New Orleans Saints. They know exactly what they are. They know they have offensive line issues with injuries. And a lot of teams down 14, what they do? They'd come out throwing the football. First thing, let's just be settled down. Let's give it to our running back. Not only running the ball, but let's throw it to him out of the backfield. I mean, that's how you respond to these kind of 14-0 deficits.
Now in a short yardage situation, Ingram can just run downhill into Eagles territory for a first down. We said Nick Sirianni has done a good job of evolving. Credit to Sean Payton, a veteran head coach as well, understanding you don't have Drew Brees. Winston's hurt now, so everything you've kind of planned over the course of the year has to shift. And now they're trying to be a little bit more dedicated to what Ingram can do in the backfield.
Not only that, is your defense has been on the field a bunch trying to defend that run. Sure. Get them on the sideline, not only for the rest, but also just to go over how they're going to defend the run.
Tony Jones Jr. on the run. Not much there that time. Javon Hargrave with a nice play to bring up 2nd down and 9. He's been really good. He might have been their best lineman in the first 10 weeks.
Yeah, here he is right here down on the bottom, and he really has been. You see the explosion right off the bat, reads the blocking scheme as they're trying to cut him off, gets through that cutoff, and then just pursues the running back. He has really been the most dominant player up front for them.
The Eagles offense off to a quick start. Philadelphia 14 behind Jalen Hurts, 2 touchdowns. New Orleans nothing to the 2nd.
To everybody that's living it up, we say
dollars. The other is not.
Wait, what?
Joe Millionaire premieres January 6th on Fox.
Plus 70 in the yards category for the Eagles in the first quarter. Took advantage of the interception thrown by Simeon to Edwards and punched home a touchdown out of that drive. 14-0. Saints have 2nd and 9 in plus territory. And a movement off the left side for Landon Young, the rookie.
False start. Offense, number 67. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Landon Young had played only 3 offensive snaps this season prior to today with the Armstead injury and the Ramczyk injury. Landon Young, who played a lot of left tackle and was a very good one at Kentucky, is over there. James Hurst moves to right tackle, and this is the 6th different combination that the Saints have had to use with those injuries. Andrus Peat still out as well.
What happens when it's 2nd down and 9, right? You want to get the jump because you know it's pass rush.
Yep. Simeon, calm in the pocket, delivers to Traquan Smith. They get the penalty yardage back, and that'll set up a 3rd down and 8 here. Alex Singleton on the stop for Philadelphia.
Third down and 8, what does it come down to? It comes down to how are they going to attack us? Are they going to blitz us? Are they bringing pressure? How many guys do we have to keep in as an offense to keep our quarterback clean? And then you say to your quarterback, hey, if you can buy a little time for us here to get these routes down the field, that's what we're going to need.
Just a 4-man rush. Simeon, low throw, incomplete. Darius Slay was the closest man to Deontay Harris.
Giving up heat off the edge. Sweat coming off the edge right here. He's the guy on the edge, and you see the push right there on Hurst, creating that. Just an errant throw right there, and you're just throwing that into a team meeting as Alex Singleton. Thought he should come up with an interception there.
1 for 4 now on third down for New Orleans. All of those third down plays have been pass plays. Rager bails out, and a beautiful punt. Blake Gilligan is starting to get really good at this, going back the last month plus. We're back after these messages from KFC and Bud Light Seltzer.
This holiday season, remember the trick. The one that lets you skip the line and get your finger-licking chicken finger-licking quick.
It's finger-licking quick.
Oh, Bud Light Seltzer Retro Tie-Dye?
Have you tried these yet?
Bud Light Seltzer Retro Tie-Dye, the loudest flavors ever.
Long field in front of Jalen Hurts. Blake Gilligan and the special teams unit pinning Philadelphia at the 4. Eagles, a 2-5 start. They've won 2 of their last 3 against Detroit. Close loss against the Chargers and the win last week against Denver. Miles Sanders takes it for a couple. That ball may have come out at the end of the play. Saints are going to claim naturally that they have it. Christian Ringo comes out with it. And it's going to be ruled New Orleans football.
Ruling on the field is that the ball was fumbled prior to the knee down, recovered by the defense.
Miles Sanders, first game back.
See the Ringo?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Ringo gets his hand in there. Really does a nice job of, first off, extending against the block, playing his position perfectly, and then getting that arm out there and ripping that ball out of Sanders' belly. Amazing. Christian Ringo has been a guy, I mean, he's gone on the practice squad. He's been all over the place, right?
He was
called up.
Waived and re-signed within the last 10 days for Dennis Allen's defense.
The offense is reporting as eligible, number 64.
Big play by Christian Ringo. And it sets up New Orleans at the 6. Ingram, nothing there. Good penetration by Jannard Avery, who did not play a whole lot last week in Denver. He brings up 2nd and goal with the TFL. This feels like a must-score touchdown drive, right?
It certainly does, and you really haven't done anything offensively right now. So what's your best kind of quote-unquote best situation down here? Who's your best go-to player? You know, is it Troutman at the tight end in the middle, split out?
Callaway at the top. Simeon out of the backfield. Ingram, and that ball is jarred loose by Maddox, incomplete. And it's 3rd down and goal. Boy, Maddox tried to deliver the blow to Ingram and got the worst of it.
He's out there in the flat. He reads it perfectly. Big hit right there.
You saw him try to wrap up the hamstrings and get him up above the knees. That's something Philadelphia has talked about with all of their missed tackles this year. Maddox seems to be in some pain. Can get a stop on 3rd and goal here. He fumbled it deep inside of Philadelphia territory. Ringo knocked it free and got it for the Saints. From the 8. Five in the pattern, pocket collapsing, Simeon on the move. Flag is thrown. Ball to the end zone. It's caught for the touchdown. We'll check the marker, but it's Lil Jordan Humphrey there to secure it. Let's check the flag.
I think you're getting a holding call.
Holding.
Yep.
Offense, number 67. 10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
There's Landon Young again, the rookie, in his first NFL start.
Well, it's, I mean, right here, you can see it. Hands wrapped around there, and when the body of the defender turns like that, you stop him like that, 100% of the time, they're going to throw the flag, and rightfully so, because that's exactly what that is, a hold.
So obviously last week the 2-point conversion that would have been big against Tennessee, that got negated because of a penalty down inside this area. Avonte Maddox is back out of the tent. 3rd down and goal back at the 18. Pressure off the edge from Sweat. Simeon hit as he throws. It is caught for the touchdown. Adam Troutman reaching to grab it. Boy, Simeon took a shot and delivered for the score.
This is absolutely unbelievable from Simeon. I mean, he's just scrambling around in there under duress, dipping under people, dips under, keeps two hands on the football. Now watch the back shoulder, right? That's where he throws it to the back shoulder. He's completely covered. He throws him open. Just get over here. Takes the hit. And look at Troutman adjust to that ball. That's exactly where Simeon was trying to throw it, away from the coverage. You want to talk about a broken play just executed perfectly. Simeon to Troutman.
Troutman's coming off a career-high 5 receptions against Tennessee last week. That good for his first touchdown of the year. And Trevor Simeon delivered under duress. Quarterbacks have been involved early. They have been key, as is the case. When you get back and forth ball games, Simeon got off to a rocky start, 1 of 5, including the Edwards interception that allowed Jalen Hurts to punch it home to give Philadelphia the lead. This initially was ruled out of bounds, but after the challenge by Nick Sirianni, it was ruled that Hurts did break the plane for the touchdown. The Sanders fumble forced by Granderson and Ringo. And this is an impressive 3rd down and goal throw from the 18 to Troutman on a beautiful readjustment around Edwards.
It's absolutely incredible right there. That throw, that turn of events, covering that fumble, and then...
Well, it gets dirty down there in the trenches. Ringo ripped it away from the lineman at the last moment.
It certainly does. That ball exchanges hands quite often. Plus, those big guys underneath. I used to be one of those guys. We're not known for our hands down there. Neither the D lineman or the O lineman.
Well, both teams have taken advantage of a turnover for a touchdown. Brent Maher, the new kicker for the Saints, kicks away. Touchback for Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts and company from the 25 for Philly.
Well, you had 100% of the momentum before that turnover, right? And before that score. So now it's time as an offense to go get that back. Run the football, set up the play action, take some time off this clock. You dominated the time of possession in the first quarter. Get back to that as an offense.
3 straight games the Eagles have rushed for 175 plus yards. It's the first time they've done that in 4 years. 77 so far today. Off the deep drop in the fake. Oh, Hurts wanted to go to Devontae Smith deep. Instead, he'll take off for positive yardage. It's about 4 on the play. Well, he badly wanted Devontae Smith on the deep ball.
I like P.J. Williams right there, not jumping up in the air for the pump fake. I mean, that takes so much discipline as a defender when the quarterback gives you the old pump fake, even though he's beyond the line of scrimmage, not to get off your feet. P.J. Williams plays it perfectly right there.
Remember, he's a key today. C.J. Gardner-Johnson out for another game. Had that foot injury a couple of weeks ago against Atlanta. So P.J., who's often played the nickel, is back in on those early downs. Designed run straight up the gut for Hurts. And that will set up a 3rd down and short. A 3rd and 2. Josiah Bronson on the stop of Jalen Hurts.
Straight up quarterback draw, right? Get him empty, open up your formation, go empty. So as a defense, you're thinking about rushing the passer on 2nd down and long. Bam, hit him with that quick draw play while your quarterback puts you in a 3rd manageable situation at 3rd and 2.
11 straight runs for the Eagles.
Man-to-man across the board down.
And 1 high safety. That's it for New Orleans. Hurts. Back foot throw. He's got Smith. Smith it back against Lattimore. And Demario Davis catches up to him all the way down at the 34 of New Orleans. 33-yard connection.
Well, Lattimore just had to do such a tremendous job of working through practice. You're going to run off here and watch. Now watch him run through all this stuff right here. Look at, flip the shoulders, run underneath, chase Smith on the crossing route. Beautiful execution and design by Philadelphia.
Nothing deep for Hurts. Spinning and scrambling. He's got Miles Sanders open. And a beautiful job by Marcus Williams to make that difficult. Whether he caught it or not, it may have been in or out of bounds. It was going to be close, but Marcus Williams gets over as Sanders was open for a moment.
Well, just first off, it starts in the pocket, right? Your ability to extend plays. When you extend plays, things happen. Breakdowns happen as a defense. But I'm telling you, Williams, across the football, he came from the opposite numbers. He was all the way on the opposite side of the field, recognizes that nobody's coming Miles, and look at Jalen Hurts. Are you kidding me, Marcus Williams?
What a play by Marcus Williams, the fifth-year man out of Utah. 2nd and 10. Dumps it off for Boston Scott, and Quan Alexander meets him for a loss of a yard. 3rd down and long coming up.
Quan, you know, when I think of Quan, energy.
Yeah.
That's what I think of. Quan Alexander just brings energy. He's directing traffic. He sees the screen, set him up, and look at him trigger. As soon as he decides, now, sometimes he'll decide wrong, but he's going to go there 100 miles an hour. And that was something we were always taught as players. Listen, if you're going to make a mistake, make it 100 miles an hour and make it shortening somebody's neck. He does it against Scott right there.
So a rare 3rd and long for Philadelphia. They've been in 3rd and shorts and mediums mostly. Saints will rush just 3. 8 back in coverage. Scott knocked out of bounds. So they played the sticks that time. Paulson and Debo runs him out at the 32 to bring up 4th down.
And it's about disguise, blitz disguise, run everybody up on the line of scrimmage, make the quarterback think you're bringing pressure. Just create that clock in his head where I've got to get rid of this thing quicker than I really need to. And then you rush 3 and drop 8. Nice job by Dennis Allen, coordinator, defensive coordinator of New Orleans.
So this will be a 50-yard try for Jake Elliott. About 59% from 50-plus yards for his career. On its way, and it is good. Makes it a 10-point lead. That could have been a huge Philadelphia play, erased by Marcus Williams. The field goal try forced, executed by Elliott. 17-7 Eagles.
That's the rock, scissors, paper coach right there. And now he's saying, hey, I refuse to acknowledge you kicking field goals. Now that one didn't work, so he's going to have to come up with something else. I really like what he has done. I like the adjustments in scheme that he has made and the balance that he has changed. And that shows maturity as a young coach. You're constantly evolving.
He seeks his first home victory as the head coach of the Eagles. Deontay Harris on the return. He's able to step around that first wave, and J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. Carissa Thompson's got a game break. What's up, CT?
Well, Adam, you think Carolina's happy to have Cam Newton back? They were even before this. Takes it himself for a 24-yard score. He's also got a passing touchdown on the day so far. Panthers up 14-7. Adam.
He's back. Three rushing touchdowns in 2 games already.
How about that comeback?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a great comeback. Who says you can't go home? You can always go home.
By the outpouring of support in Charlotte, huge. Obviously, the Eagles right now looking at both Washington and Carolina in the playoff mix. They're ahead of Washington right now, behind Carolina. Washington with a big win that we saw last week against Tampa Bay, getting themselves back into the mix. It's a wide open NFC playoff picture right now. The Saints would be the 6th seed if it started today.
Well, Sean Payton said to us, Bill Parcells taught him there's always a way to win the game. You just have to figure out what that way is. They're struggling right now, but they're trying to figure that out. And one of those ways, make sure you support your quarterback.
Simeon incomplete into a tight window, trying to find Marquez Callaway. That'll bring up 3rd down and 6. So Simeon obviously took over as the starting quarterback. Taysom Hill had the concussion suffered against the Washington football team, missed a couple of games. He's been back the last 2. Remember, he started 4 games last year. The final of those 4 was this game against the Eagles. He popped up on the injury report again with a foot issue. So you're missing a key flex piece that makes it harder for a defense to decipher what you're doing. Does not have a snap today. Here comes a blitz right up the middle from Singleton.
I just love the eyes, right? Messing with the eyes of the quarterback. You're showing pressure off this edge over here, and now off this edge, and now all of a sudden you'll come up the middle. Show them pressure, come up the middle, and that's one of those things. Where are you going to protect? How are you going to call that protection? You look at that pressure off of one edge, you don't get it picked up in the middle, and there it is, Singleton coming scot-free.
And Jonathan Gannon, as he often is, very selective about when he's bringing the rush. And it's been fairly successful so far against that patchwork offensive line for the Saints. Jalen Reagor out of bounds at the 25. Approaching the halfway point of this second quarter. Alex Singleton, his snaps have gone down as of late, but that's a key play. And they've got the 10-point advantage. 8.5 to play here in the second. Feels like a big drive for the New Orleans defense for you right now.
It really does, and Malcolm Jenkins said it. There's no pressure on us. This is an opportunity. Well, here's your opportunity. Get off the field, get your offense the ball back.
Jordan Howard, big hole for Howard. Marcus Williams brings him down across the 40-yard line. That is 18 more rushing yards. Going back to the game against the Raiders, Nick Sirianni said, all right, we're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to get Sanders involved. Obviously, Sanders got hurt in that game, but Boston Scott, let's not forget what Kenneth Gainwell was able to contribute as well. He's inactive for the first time today. They have really dedicated themselves to this. Howard, again, another strong run into New Orleans territory at the 49. Jenkins and Alexander on the stop.
And they're just controlling it. It's not only, it's zone stuff, right? Coming off the ball, establishing a new line of scrimmage. It's the pin and pull stuff. It's everything that they're throwing at New Orleans right now.
Right back to Howard. And they've got the first down to the 45-yard line. And the three-headed monster, so to speak, that they now feature with Sanders back in the lineup and Howard and Scott, all these guys are like 5 yards a pop, essentially. So you're getting similar production from all these different backs. Now they change it up with a little bit of a pistol look. Now shift. Howard again, another hole. Well, they are gashing the Saints defense up the middle right now. 13 more yards. Wow.
Well, they're doing it right here. This is the guy they're reading off of. So watch as you hand the ball. Does he come in? No, he doesn't constrict. Go ahead, put it up the middle, get it to the safeties. That's the zone read aspect of what they're doing. So they are mixing it up with zone read, with just regular handoff, counter pull, you name it. They're just executing right now, and this is where you just lean on people. Chew up clock. Keep that defense out that they don't have an ounce right now as they're just rotating their entire defensive line to get fresh people in.
5 carries, 48 rushing yards on this drive for Philadelphia. Nearly 10 a pop. Hurts. Nothing to the right. Nothing downfield. Running out of time and incomplete. Wes Watkins, the closest man. Good coverage by the Saints defense that time.
Yeah, great coverage by the defense, but really just the time that you have in the pocket right now. And that's what happens when you run the football. You exhaust people. You exhaust that defensive line. So then what happens? They really are ineffective rushing the passer. They can't get off the blocks because of the basic body blows that you've been establishing in the run game.
This is what you've always talked about. Obviously, as an old offensive lineman, you appreciate the running game, but it's not just what you're doing now. You're setting things up to wear defense down in the fourth quarter.
They just make it so easy for the offensive line. As I always say, to take the passive out of pass protection instead of us just standing there taking it. Now all of a sudden, as a defense, you have to read the play action. You have to read if we upkick you. It just takes that energy and that steam out of your rush, and that's what you saw right there as Jalen Hurts had all day long to throw that ball.
Philadelphia uses a timeout here. 3rd down and 6 coming up.
We talked a little bit about Nick Sirianni and the changes that he's made. There you see the head coach. When he talks about his brother, he calls him the best football coach he's ever been around. His brother won a high school state championship as a pro style. Then he won a high school state championship the next year as a spread style coach. Then the next year he went to the state championship running a triple option. He says you've got to be able to adjust, and that's what we've seen Nick Sirianni do over the last few weeks.
That's his brother Mike, who's the current coach at Division III Washington and Jefferson. His brother Jay as well, very good coach, the best in our family, he says. Goddard somehow came down with it, and he's got the first down inside the 15.
Well, I love what Hurts did. He fell away from the pressure. They bring pressure off the edge, falls away, keeps both hands on the ball, and look at the accuracy that he threw. I mean, you want to talk about throwing. Goddard is covered, man. Covered. What a catch.
He's got 4 grabs now. Hurts was looking that way. He's going to throw that way. Goddard's got it. A flag is thrown. Touchdown, Philadelphia. But this looks like it may be against Goddard for offensive pass interference.
I thought Jalen Hurts was just going to throw that out of the back of the end zone. Goddard, the top of your screen, runs a little out and up.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both against the offense. Ineligible player legally downfield prior to the pass. Penalties decline. Pass interference, offense, number 6. It's a 10-yard penalty. First down.
So that'll be Devontae Smith on the OPI, not the separation from Goddard.
No.
Negate the touchdown.
It's what they call a stick nod, and what happens is watch him come down here and set this pick right here. This is a Slim Reaper. He's not a real big guy, but he goes ahead and throws his body up there a little bit. You got to at least act like you're running a route. Then the Malcolm Jenkins right there on the coverage.
So it sets them back to first down and 20 at the 23. Plenty of time. Hurts has a man. It's Smith, and he came down with it. Going to be ruled incomplete or out of bounds. It's incomplete. Good coverage by Marcus Williams again. Another key play defensively.
Well, watch. You've got a flat defender out here. That's Lattimore gets the push on him, right? That's pivotal. When you get that push, even though that outside release, you get the push, takes a little bit more time and allows the safety at the last second to get over there, and you see the foot come down out of bounds. Beautiful job. Two saving touchdowns right there by Marcus Williams. The one on the sideline to Sanders, the running back, and then that one right there.
Empty set again. Hurts all day. All day. Plenty of time. And finally will take off and forced out of bounds by P.J. Williams. Mailata had a nice block on Cameron Jordan. Good coverage by the Saints again, but you talked about the pass rush. It's a little worn out right now.
Right. Well, you get this kind of, it's always about connecting the two, right? You're just playing a little zone right here, connecting the back end with the front end. The back end does its job, but the front end is too tired to get there because they've had to defend the run. They have been on this field for a long time now. When you talk about time of possession, doubling the time of possession the Philadelphia Eagles have versus the Saints right now at 8 to about 16, almost 17.
Third and long. Hurts, end zone, incomplete for Smith. And Demario Davis, the linebacker, in coverage against the excellent rookie receiver Smith.
Well, you've got the two high safety looks, so both of these safeties are going to go out this way, and watch Demario Smith here in the middle. He's just got to trail that middle. Davis right here, look at him in the middle, covering Smith, the wide receiver. Nicely done on that kind of, what they call that, a cover two, like a Tampa 2 with that middle linebacker going down the middle of the football field.
Mario Davis just does so many important things for this Saints defense. It's been well documented how key he's been, the All-Pro the last 2 years. Elliott's been good from 50, this from 37 to make it a 20-7 lead. 4:20 to play here in the first half, and we check in with Carissa Thompson for a game break. What's up?
Thank you so much, Adam. The Bills have the #1 defense in the league, but no one told Jonathan Taylor that. He's having himself a game. That is his 3rd touchdown so far today. 2 rushing, 1 receiving. Colts up big, 24-7. Adam?
Boy, that is interesting. Remember that the Saints are on a short week this week. They'll play against Buffalo on Thanksgiving Day. Of course, when we're done, if you're interested in the NFC East, you might want to stick around for this game. The Cowboys and Dak Prescott have gotten off to a great start in the first half plus this year. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are starting to pick it up. The Eagles played the Chiefs, got into a slugfest with them earlier this year, gave up 42 points in that game. So you know the Chiefs can get going at any point. That'll be America's Game of the Week. Check your local listings for the game in your area coming up after we're done.
Well, they got going. They got going offensively anyhow. Mahomes had 5 touchdowns the other day, so they feel. Yeah, it does feel like they're about ready to turn it on here in November.
Well, you were talking about possession, ball control. This gives you a really nice snapshot. I mean, we just saw the Cowboy promo, right? When Philadelphia lost to Dallas in week 3, they got outpossessed by 10 minutes in that game. Now you're starting to see Philadelphia win a lot of the time of possession battles. Obviously, the run game is a big factor in that.
No question about it. And then you see like good things happen to you when you run the ball at them. Great things, because all of a sudden it slows down that pass rush. It slows down, it slows down everything for you, and it just makes the game so much simpler.
Philadelphia has scored on 4 of its last 5 possessions. Adam Troutman's got the touchdown for the Saints, and he's got a big catch and run behind the convoy. He takes it out across the 45-yard line. They'll mark him out just shy of it, 19 yards.
Yeah, and how about that? Just get all these big hog mollies out here, right on the screen. The tight end delay screen. McCoy out in front. You see him right there. Hurst also out in front. Big play by Troutman. Even Smith. Traquan Smith getting a nice little block there on the edge.
Troutman has had a really nice second year out of Dayton. There's Ingram. 1 cut back. Works upfield for a few yards to the 47. 3rd down coming up.
I told you that's what I love about Ingram. He knows what he is.
Yep.
He just knows what he is. I'm not going to outrun people to the edge right here. At some point, I got to look to put my foot in the ground, get back up, and put my bean on somebody, right? Just go punish them a little bit.
2nd down and 7 coming up. You see Ingram 5.5 per carry. Excellent start to his day. 38 yards on the ground. Tony Jones Jr. has carried it 3 times for minimal yardage. He'll get the fake. Pressure, and Simeon just had to sling it at the feet of the defense. I don't think they ever whistled this play dead, did they? Singleton kept on playing.
There is no foul for intentional grounding. Number 45 of the offense is ruled in the area. 3rd down.
So no flag for grounding. It was a dead play. It is incomplete.
Well, he says right here, 45, Griffin is in. He just got beat. I don't really know that that's he's in the vicinity, but there was no intent to throw it to him, that's for sure. How about the Eagles coming with that rush? I mean, this is a team that everybody's talking about. They don't blitz. Well, they're bringing the pressure today.
Here they come. Simeon down the middle, broken up. Darius Slay had the coverage on Marquez Callaway.
Well, that's probably the one guy you don't want to target right there. Darius Slay, you see him right up here. Watch him. Outside leverage, outside leverage. Now I'm going to undercut this thing. Beautiful job. He stays so fluid with his hips, and he stays so low in and out of breaks. That's that's just the reason he is so quick. One of the premier cover corners, because he never comes out of that stance. He doesn't have to sink back down to react. He's always in it.
NFC Defensive Player of the Week last week after that big fumble return touchdown against the Broncos. Another good punt by Blake Gilligan, and great coverage once again. J.T. Gray kept it alive for Zach Bonded down inside the 5.
Look at J.T. Gray coming down here, picking it up. The awareness to know where you are. I mean, he misses the first slap, gets Oh, I see green grass between he and the goal line.
Absolutely.
I think that's perfect.
Boy, Blake Gilligan is really becoming good at this. He did it against Washington about 5 weeks ago, where he just kept downing or kicking punts inside the 5, and the Saints kept downing it.
Look at him. I mean, he's had a 62-yard bomb earlier. I think his first punt was huge.
Well, yard shy of his career long.
And then a couple inside the 20, that one inside the 5. And think about this now for the Saints. If you can keep Philadelphia here, right? If you can get a 3-and-out, keep them inside the 10, make them force them to punt, that's an opportunity for you to put points on the board.
Remember what happened last time they were down here? Sanders had the fumble. This time they give it right back to Sanders, showing some confidence in him. And did that ball come out again? The Saints are going to claim that they did. It's going to be ruled down.
The forward progress was ruled stopped on the field of play.
Yep.
Second down.
Whew. The Saints nearly took another one away from Sanders there. Well, problem with the mesh point here, too.
Yeah, Sanders has been out for a while. Remember this. So there hasn't been great from that. I mean, right off the bat, in the belly, he fumbles it there. And this is where you tell Sanders to come back out of there. Look at Jenkins just rip that ball out. Forward progress had been stopped, and that's where you put a guy in that's been running it for the last 4 weeks.
4 yards on the progress. And Hurts got the jump. Cameron Jordan got into the neutral zone. The 2-minute warning was coming, so they may discuss the timing of this. If it came before, it'd be a penalty.
Prior to there being any fouls on the offense, it's a 2-minute warning.
Okay, so no penalty. They did get the clock down to the 2-minute warning. So second down coming up on the other side. Christian Ringo has made an impact. Adam Trautman's got a touchdown for the Saints, but it's the Eagles in control right now.
Singleton just had a little conversation with Miles Sanders. Kind of getting him straight right now. Put the ball on the ground twice so far in this game.
Jordan Howard is in there again. He and Sanders have been productive on the ground. Here is Howard, another big hole. The tackle in space, shy of the line to gain by Paulson Adebo. Stopped him about a yard short. Third down coming up.
It's a really nice job because he's just in man-to-man coverage, following Rager across the formation. Then they hand it off to Howard. And Johnny on the spot right there to make the tackle, keep him short of that first down.
A timeout used by New Orleans to save some time. This is exactly what you had set up at the beginning of this drive, Stink. If New Orleans can get the stop, they'd have enough time to certainly put together a solid drive with what you would expect to be decent field position.
Well, they've run. I mean, you can tell they've run the ball exceptionally well, but in these situations, they've gone with that quarterback sneak.
Right.
So we'll see if Hurts gets under center.
Oh, they're going to leave him in the gun here. A back on each side. And they get the first down. It's Jordan Howard again into Jenkins. Hey, oh my goodness, things got a little chippy to say the least. Marcus Davenport getting into it with, I believe, Jordan Mailata. We saw Mailata talking it up with a couple of the defensive linemen for the Saints, so we've already seen some back and forth. But Mailata was right in there with Marcus Davenport. They went down to the deck at one point.
Yeah, Mailata blocking back on.
Second charge timeout. New Orleans. 30-second timeout.
Blocking back on Marcus Davenport. Remember, Marcus Davenport pushed Hurts out of bounds, and you're going to see, like right here, just look at this. I mean, you're getting blocked, you're getting blocked, you're getting blocked, you're getting blocked, you're getting taken to the ground right here.
Wow.
I mean,
yeah, those two have already had a conversation today.
Man, they are all over. And look at everybody jumping in right here.
1-5-0.
It's just like a big brother, little brother type of thing, right? These are two fourth-year guys, both part of that 2018 draft class. Davenport was a first-round pick. Mailata, a seventh-rounder who has worked himself to a 4-year long-term deal this season. Those are two guys that have played very good football this year, too.
That's Davenport at 6'6", 265 versus Mailata at 6'8", 365, and I think they're being kind.
After all that, a fresh set of downs. And another handoff to Howard, and he's knocked down by David Onyemata. You pointed out on Monday to us on film that these types of plays are what David Onyemata does.
Well, if you watch David Onyemata, he's right here in the inside, and he just does such a good job of extending his hands. That's what he's best at. Extend your hands, create a new line of scrimmage, shed, and then just devour the block. He got that on Driscoll, shoving him to the side. Just such a good run defender.
You, in your notes this week, you said it's a combination of brute strength and impeccable technique to play at that position.
He does a great job of hitting they would call them stacking guys. So using your hands to get the guys off your body and then just toss them aside as the running back comes through the hole.
2nd and 10. Here's Smith, and he gets cracked immediately by Marshawn Lattimore. Held on to him for a little extra second there. So you got a nice open field tackle. He goes to the ground, he just picks him back up.
That's like that. What do they call that? Mutton rustling?
I'm sorry. I just got a flashback of like my brothers and I playing football. They go, they're going to tackle me, but they're going to keep their arms around me and bring me back up to my feet.
I was just like that when those little kids ride them sheep.
Feels like we had different upbringings.
That's mutton busting.
3rd down and 4 for Philadelphia with a minute to play. Hurts on the comeback route, incomplete. Looking for Jalen Reagor. He had Paulson and Debo in coverage, and that's going to bring up 4th down. The clock stops with a minute left. Trevor Siemian, no timeouts with which to work, but still about a minute to play. Deontay Harris will try to come up with a big return. Remember that the Saints have a new kicker again today in Brett Maher, the former Cowboy. Oh, that's muffed, but secured by Harris. They'll have this at the 36-yard line. Let's check in with Kurt Menefee and figure out what's coming up.
What you doing over there?
Writing on my Thanksgiving shopping list for the week.
You got turkey?
Yep.
Mashed potatoes, stuffing?
Yep.
What about highlights of the Bears and Ravens?
Shoot, no, I don't have that.
Don't worry, we got you covered on the Verizon halftime.
Huh? Are those produce or dairy? What else is that?
You got to keep it clear for Terry, guys. Come on. 1st and 10.
The last time Terry shopped for groceries, he just eats the groceries.
Here's Siemian. Passing out of the blocks on this drive. You get Traquan Smith at the 41 on a gain of 5. Clock moves to 40 seconds. Siemian stepping up. Past the sticks, dangerous throw, intercepted. Darius Slay, big play. Slay has done it again. His 3rd defensive touchdown of the season, and it puts the Eagles up 19.
This is about having a clock in your head. Slay, watch his body position. He knows there's pressure. He knows they haven't been able to block it up front. He knows that he's not going to get beat deep on that, so he's just waiting, biding time. That clock triggers in his head. Bam! He takes it, and that's to the house, Adam.
For 50 yards. And a 27-7 Philadelphia lead. 2nd career pick 6 for Slay. His 3rd interception of the year.
You know there's going to be pressure. You see it there with Siemian having to fall off away from that pressure, and he's just sitting there. He's not threatened that he's going to get beat deep. He's got plenty of cushion, and then it's just about triggering when that ball comes out and then going on and celebrating. Forget about the Lambeau leap. We got the Philly step up. See the disappointment in Traquan Smith's face right there. It's been that kind of half.
2nd pick of the day for Siemian. And the Saints had been so good taking care of the football in these last handful of games. But 2 picks today, one by Edwards and the latest by Slay. The 83-yard fumble recovery for a touchdown last week on the road in Denver. He's living up to that moniker that he's had for quite some time. In his 9 years out of Mississippi State, came over from the Lions last season. Big play Slay with another one.
And you take away the 2 in front of that 27, and it's 7-7. 7 for the Saints and 7 for Slay. That's a big-time play.
Huge.
I did the math in my head.
I had to think about it a little bit, but you were correct, sir.
Yeah.
Here's Harris, and he's going to get dragged down. Good coverage in special teams by Zach McPherson, the rookie. And now 17 seconds left for the Saints here. I wonder if they'll just take a knee and head to the locker room. Remember, the Eagles won the toss and deferred, so it will be Philadelphia ball to start the second half.
Well, I guarantee you what they're not going to do. They're not going to throw an out route against Slay again. I promise you that. I'm with you. Take the knee, get in the locker room, make your adjustments.
Now, Denver didn't even bother attacking him much. And I think they threw it at him twice all of last week. Slay comes up with a huge play. Hurts with 2 rushing touchdowns. And the Eagles, looking for their first home win, are in control through one half. First half stats are brought to us by State Farm. The turnover is a big factor. All 3 have led to points for these 2 teams, but the Eagles in control, leading at the halftime break. We're headed to Los Angeles. Kurt Menefee and company will have the Verizon halftime report for you in moments.
Welcome to the Verizon Halftime, the official 5G network of the NFL.
This is copyrighted by NFL Productions for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of NFL Productions is prohibited.
Jalen Hurts, the subject of our progressive game flow this afternoon. He's got a couple of rushing touchdowns. Both teams have taken advantage of takeaways for 21 of the 34 points that have been scored. 7 of those on the defensive touchdown from Darius Slay to close out the first half. Brett Maher, the new kicker for the Saints, is out there. Always have to wonder about Sean Payton at the start of the second half kicking off. Will he mix in a potential onside kick?
He only does that in Super Bowls.
That's right. They'll kick off here. And out to the 25-yard line come this Philadelphia offense led by Jalen Hurts. In the broadcast booth here in Philadelphia, Adam Amin, Mark Schlereth, impressive stuff from Philadelphia, and we kind of came in thinking, all right, let's see what the evolution is. We've seen it for 3 or 4 games now. What's going to look like today? This is pretty much going to Nick Sirianni's plan. And strength on strength battle, that's what he talked about. I know they're really good in New Orleans at defending the run. Guess what? We're really good at running the ball as well, and right now, Philadelphia Eagles have been dominant up front running the football against New Orleans. And it's rare to see it, but the Eagles have been one of the few teams that have been able to run on New Orleans the last couple of years. Here is Boston Scott. Pump ahead for a short gain. To the point where, I mean, again, we've praised the run defense of the Saints, and rightfully so. They've been great. The last 70 games that the Saints have played, they've given up 2 100-yard rushers. That's it. But both of them came in the Eagles game last year. It was Hurts and Sanders that both ran for 100+. You see the Saints have only generated 39 on the ground. That group of Howard, Hurts, and Sanders have done damage to the tune of 5.5 yards per rush for Philadelphia today. It's 2.5 better than the average allowed by New Orleans. Boston Scott again churning ahead. That'll set up a 3rd down and short. It's always how do you react? How do you adjust? Whether it's an offense or it's a defense, how am I going to adjust? So you saw them playing a lot of double high safeties early in this game. They're down to single high safety, trying to stop this running game. One of those safeties is Marcus Williams, who began to trail to the outside. Hurts beats them along the edge for the first down.
And those are the adjustments that you have to make. You thought you could stop this running game with your front seven. You thought you'd play it effectively enough. And here's the problem with that for Dennis Allen and the New Orleans Saints. You get 2 days to work on this. This is a unique style of offense, and they've got great players up front. You get a couple of days to work on it. Hard to be really good and really dialed in with only 2 days of work. And that's what you're experiencing right now.
Zone read again. Hurts, nothing there, so he'll just go down. So talk to me a little bit about this. And I know we're getting more and more used to these types of plays, right? The zone reads. More NFL teams and defenses will have to deal with this. How do they deal with it?
Well, I mean, there's a couple of different issues you've got. You see, this is a surf technique by Davenport. And what he's doing is squeezing down the edge, but keeping his shoulders square and saying, you've got to decide as a quarterback, can I beat that guy to the edge? Do I have more speed than that guy? If he turns his shoulders, I'll just take off. If he stays square, now I've got to read it and decide, am I going to give it to the back or I'm going to keep it?
Here's Scott. Good pursuit by Malcolm Jenkins for the tackle. So I like that surf technique. And the big thing you pointed out to us was keeping your shoulders square, just as you would if you were surfing. If you're on a surfboard, you have to stay square because the wave is going to dictate how you move. The offense dictates how you move. You have to stay square to the play.
You want to squeeze down, but keep your shoulders perpendicular to the line of scrimmage. So squeeze with your shoulders square. As soon as you turn them, you know, and you're not square with the line of scrimmage, that's when the quarterback's just going to take off. That's when he's going to read you and your shoulders.
Setting up a 3rd down and 6.
Probably say parallel line of scrimmage. Don't turn them perpendicular to the line of scrimmage.
Pressure on Hurts. Oh, dangerous throw, but he got it to the sideline. Now, that was Bradley Roby, who is the 3rd down nickel with C.J. Gardner-Johnson out. He was bringing some heat as well.
Yeah, and Bradley Roby coming off the edge right there. You see P.J. Williams. All kinds of pressure on Hurts. Does a good job of just getting rid of that football, keeping them in good field position for this punt. Little things like that make such a big difference in the overall scheme of the game, how you pin a guy deep or how you pin a team deep, playing the field position game.
Play clock is down at 0. Flag is thrown for delay of game.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Eagles' last home win was against the Saints in Week 14 last year. The lone win for Doug Peterson's team in the second half of the season last year was the game against the Saints. They went 1-7 down the stretch. Obviously, Peterson let go. Sirianni brought in after his time in Indianapolis as the offensive coordinator. Fair catch and a bailout from Harris, and a nice friendly Philadelphia roll inside the 10. I hear you can get good rolls. Good pork roll here once in a while, right? There's good food here in Philadelphia, right? Let's go grab some after this.
Progressive presents At Home with Baker Mayfield.
Are some Saints fans here in Philadelphia trying to keep hope afloat. Down 20, still a long way to go in this game. We'll start this series from the 10. And not much there for Ingram. Fletcher Cox. First time we've called his name today, and it's a good play on a short gain.
Well, he's just going to split the double team. He's going to come knifing through here. Look at big Fletcher Cox. Just hand fighting, getting on the legs of Ingram. Right, we haven't said his name, so Fletcher Cox had to get into the game right now, right? I want a little play, too. I want to have some fun. Been so good for so long here in Philadelphia.
10-year veteran, the number 12 pick in 2012. Simeon under immediate pressure, able to get to the outside. Throws across and incomplete. We'll bring up 3rd down and 9. Cox with the pressure once again. This is a Saints team that has had a roller coaster year, obviously. They started 2-2. They were displaced from New Orleans to begin the year, had to play in Jacksonville against Green Bay. They lose their home opener against the Giants in overtime. And they start to put things together. They get those 3 straight wins, even through the Winston injury, the impressive victory against Brady and the Bucs a few weeks ago. And even the last 2 losses, only a combined 4 points that they've lost by with all the personnel shifting. They felt close. Sean Payton was saying that he felt that they were ready for a bounce back. He's hoping for a much better second half. Looking for Troutman, broken up by Maddox. 4th down.
How about this Philadelphia team? They're just sitting on routes right now, saying you're not going to run by us. We don't believe you can hold up with all those backup offensive linemen. We don't buy it. So they're just sitting on things, and they're just exploding out of their breaks here, knocking down passes. And this is all about, we know you can't protect against this. You have 3 backup offensive linemen. Hurst playing right tackle. You've got Throckmorton playing left guard. You've got Landon Young playing left tackle. We don't buy it. We don't think you can protect against us. We're going to squat on these routes.
And an opportunity for Rager. They'll step out near the 40 of New Orleans. Great field position for Philadelphia coming up to start this second half.
Who has live TV?
Go back to the last home win for Philadelphia. It was the first career start for Jalen Hurts. 17 of 30, 167 through the air, a touchdown pass, and those career-high 106 rushing yards against Malcolm Jenkins. And the Saints defense last year stepped in for the struggling Carson Wentz. And they have leaned on Jalen Hurts, now making his 15th career NFL start today. Run another play in Saints territory, and they get another big play from Dallas Goedert, a 1st down inside the 30 to the 26.
Well, I love this play action. What have you been doing? You've been running the read zone. Watch the fake read zone here. Look at it this way now, the wide check delay to Goddard off the edge. And just, you know, the different ways that you open up your offense, the different ways that you set things up as a play caller. It's not just calling play-by-play, but it's setting those plays up so you can get to them down in the, later in the drives and later in the quarter.
Hurts. Nothing there. That was good penetration to help blow that play up by the Saints front. Bradley Roby helps shove Hurts out of bounds for a big loss. You said it, a lot of plays in plus territory for Philadelphia. They've had a lot of good field position, so more than half of their plays have been across the 50. Winning the field position battle, winning the time of possession battle, and this is the evolution of this current iteration for the Eagles offense.
I like this. Take your time. Huddle up.
Yep. 5 on the play clock. Yep. Take it all the way down, and Howard with another good run. We're just so not used to seeing big runs up the middle against this Saints defense. That was 7 more yards. Howard a little banged up after that play. Oh no. Howard seems to be in some discomfort. Got undercut there. Ooh, landed awkwardly as well. P.J. Williams had the hit on him. We'll step aside.
Insurance sponsor of the NFL.
It's good to see Jordan Howard back up and moving. They were tending to his lower back. You saw the training staff come out after this couple of collisions. Just got rolled up on. They were kind of rubbing his lower back, trying to get him comfortable. He was able to walk back towards the medical tent. Boston Scott is into the game in the backfield on 3rd and 6. Pressure from the Saints, tunnel screen Smith, 1st down Eagles. And Smith tumbles down inside the 10, it's 1st and goal.
It's all about the timing of these routes, right? Come out here, get your blocks, and then let Smith go so that ball is in his hands before you actually make that contact. Perfect timing on 3rd down and 6 on the tunnel screen to Smith.
Flag thrown on the snap.
False start, offense, number 63. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
It's Jack Driscoll. We talked about the Philadelphia, or the New Orleans offensive line issues. Obviously, the Eagles are missing a couple of guys in Isaac Seumalo and Brandon Brooks, 2 very good guards. Dickerson, the rookie, and Driscoll, the second-year man, both draft picks the last 2 seasons, have filled in admirably at guard.
That was odd, too, because it was almost like Kelsey thought the center was underneath. I mean, he snapped that football. If not for the false start, you know, that thing is on the ground.
Yep.
So, really strange.
Ended up being a little bit of a break almost in a sense. Empties it out, does Hurts for 1st and goal. Back at the 13. Kind of a broken play there. I'm not sure if Hurts was looking to run or looking to pass right out of the gate. Ends up being 2nd down and goal. He smartly just takes the broken play and resets it.
Yeah, they had the tight end coming through. It's almost like it was supposed to be a shovel pass to Jack Stoll, and he never looked for it. So, coming off the wing.
And you saw Mailata, the left tackle, was already kind of floating out towards the perimeter. So yeah, I think it may have been a screen play that never really evolved. 2nd and goal. Boston Scott inside the 10 again. 3rd and goal coming up. Davenport and Tuttle on the stop for the Saints front. Eating more of this clock. More than 26 minutes of possession out of the 37, 38 minutes that have been played in this game.
And that's exactly what you want to do. This, you can see that clock rolling down here, 17, 16. You shouldn't snap this ball until you're about 5 seconds. That's about where you should be on every single play that you run if you're the Eagles right now. 4-minute offense in the 3rd quarter.
Hurts running out of time. And finally wrapped up. Trying to hold on to that football as Marcus Davenport got in there along with David Onyemata. They're able to shut it down. It's a loss of 7. It brings up 4th and goal, and it forces the field goal unit out.
Well, it shows the maturity because you're going to see the pressure right here. But what do? Always keep both hands on the football. See him here in the pocket, both hands on the football. Takes it off for a second there, but then wraps it back up with both hands on. He knows. And here's the other maturity. You've got everybody dropped in coverage right now. There was nothing that was wide open. Make sure you don't throw the football. Kick the field goal. Possessions are important, obviously.
Jake Elliott line drives it through. He's made his last 10 field goal attempts. 30-7, Philadelphia in control.
It started when we got Fire TV. I asked Alexa to play something on
Atmosphere for children with autism to get their COVID vaccines. The Eagles Autism Foundation was established 3 years ago by Jeffrey Lurie and has raised more than $12 million for autism research. They do a challenge every year in May. They'll do that this coming year as well. Pretty good stuff. It's Jeffrey Lurie, the chairman and CEO of this franchise. 89th year in the National Football League for the Philadelphia Eagles. Carissa Thompson's got a game break for us. What you got for us, my friend?
Well, let's check in on the Packers, shall we? Aaron Rodgers got all day long to find his favorite target, Davante Adams, the recipient of this one. Davante now has the most receiving touchdowns versus the Vikings all-time, passing Jerry Rice. Packers still down by a score. Adam?
You think about week 1 for the Saints, a dominant performance against Green Bay. Green Bay has looked much, much sharper since, obviously. There's the Saints on the ground to start this drive, and a good one from Mark Ingram. He'll pick up 8 yards to the 33.
I talked about Mark Ingram, right? His knowledge of what he is, and I love that about him. He just knows, man, I got to get myself downhill, 9-yard gain. Those are the things you love, like as a player. You know what you are, you know what you're not, so let's lean on the things that we are. Play to the strengths. Sean Payton does a great job with that in his football team.
Right back to him, and he's got the first down. That ball may have come out, though, and the Eagles may have it. TJ Edwards on the bottom of the pile. It's Eagles football.
I think that's my man, Fletcher Cox. As Ingram goes by, Fletcher gets that big paw out there, scrapes at the football, the extension right here, and bam, punch at the ball. Ball on the ground, and then it's a scramble.
TJ Edwards has a pick and now a fumble recovery today.
This Eagles team talked about creating turnovers. They talked about punching balls. They talked about all those different things that give you the opportunity to have more offensive possessions that time. Fletcher Cox, and it starts with defending the run. You got to defend the run first, so you stack them, you get them off your body. As the running back rolls through, now I can disengage, get my hand out there, and create the fumble on Mark Ingram.
Well, pitch play. There's Miles Sanders. And a good run for Sanders near the sticks. Big day for Mississippi State Bulldogs on this Eagles defense. Darius Slay and now Fletcher Cox.
And there he is. You see the hand come in there late, but he does that because he extends the arms, gets the offensive lineman off of him so that he can essentially slide down the line of scrimmage and make that play. Look at, he's talking about it, right? He's how I did it.
They explain it to you very simply here. You do this thing and then you do that thing and then you get the ball.
That's right.
That's how it works. Philadelphia's been living in Saints territory for most of this day. There is Sanders again. Works his way to the 25. Miles Sanders, his first game back since going to the injured reserve with that ankle injury in week 7. He's had some down moments. Obviously, the fumble sticks out, but he's had some strong carries, has implemented and acclimated himself well to this new offense.
And you know right now it's about getting yourself back from a confidence standpoint, right? Grasping on that ball, 2 hands, making sure you don't put it on the ground again, because he's had the one fumble, but he had another one after the play was called dead. So he's put the ball on the ground twice so far today.
Holding on to it there is Ringo. Teams up with Williams for the tackle. It's always been a refrain the last couple of years for the Eagles. Like, well, why don't they run the ball a little bit more? They need to run the ball a little bit more. And it's understandable in a passing league. This is a passing league now. But it almost feels like a good run game is like a good mid-range game for an NBA team. It's not always the focus of the game plan for the defense. They're worried about the big pass plays. The run game is there for teams that are dedicated to it.
Figure out what you do well and then do that. And that's what Nick Sirianni and this offensive staff have done.
Nice pull by Hurts to avoid the initial rush, but it's well read by Jalen Holmes, playing his second game of the season with Tano Passigno and Malcolm Roach out today. Jalen Holmes gets called up again.
Well, we talk about keeping your shoulders parallel, right? Right here, look at how parallel those are to line of scrimmage, and then you're in the backfield, you get that penetration, but it started with squeezing, constricting off the edge with keeping those shoulders parallel, and that's why you can make that play. Perfect surf technique, as they call it.
3 touchdowns and 3 two-point conversions are 24 points. A field goal here would make it a 26-point lead. And sure enough, Jake Elliott on a 4-for-4 day has done just that. Took a little bit of a turn on that one, but it still goes through for Jake Elliott, the 5th-year man.
A little English on it right here. Laces out. Thing goes from looking like he's going to shank it to rolling back in there. He knew it all along, right? Shaping your shots, just like a golf. This is a great golf shot.
Well, here we go. Big Noon Saturday. Our crew's going to have it for you. They'll be live from Ann Arbor at 10 o'clock in the morning Eastern time and taking you right into Big Noon Saturday. Ohio State and Michigan, 2 teams battling near the top of the Big Ten East. Ohio State trying to lock up a spot in the Big Ten title game. That's coming up on Saturday with Gus, Joel, and Jenny, and the great crew on Big Noon Kickoff. The giveaways continue to affect the Saints. They had only given the ball away 8 times in their first 9 games. But 3 giveaways today, and the Eagles have now turned it into 17 points. Trevor Siemian back to work. There it is in print for you. Siemian obviously hadn't thrown an interception in 4 years, hadn't had a lot of time to play the last 4 years. This is a guy that was drafted, as Stink mentioned, in the 7th round in 2015, was the backup to Peyton Manning for that Super Bowl championship team, took over in 2016, and that began the long line of Denver quarterbacks that have played for the Broncos. he did pretty well. 13-11 record over a couple of years. All things considered, a really solid game manager, which I don't think is an insult. I think that's a compliment for Trevor Siemian as he finds his best target today, Troutman.
And now, what do you want to be able to do? Now you want to get those underneath routes. You're going to have to, complete 4, 5, 6 things in a row, maybe a catch and run here, but they haven't had enough time in the pocket to really press the ball down the football field. So you see the little shallow crossing route or the crossing route there by Troutman for the first down.
Mark Ingram is back in the game. Get the fake from Siemian. Nice slant as he finds Deontay Harris for a good gain as we check in with CT for a game break.
Adam, I'll tell you who's having a good day. Jonathan Taylor, the league's leading rusher, has 5 touchdowns on the day, setting a franchise record against what was the league's best defense. 38-7 Colts up on the road.
Wow. That is impressive stuff from Indianapolis against Buffalo. And the Bills offense all of a sudden.
What have we said about this game? Good things happen when you run the ball. How about the Indianapolis Colts?
Here is Ingram again, and a good job by the Philadelphia front, still trying to rip that ball out. That'll pull him up for 3rd down and short coming.
All right, I like it. You got a great cover corner in Slay. Watch him come up here and force the edge. He's going to see it. Come on down there, get involved. I want to play football too. Really nice form tackle. Go ahead, Slay. Wrap him up. Hamstring tackles. That's what we're talking about, right? Get around those legs. You don't need big hits. Let's get guys on the ground.
3rd and 2. Good blocking by Traquan Smith, and Ingram breaks one. All the way inside the Philadelphia 30-yard line. Give him 28 yards on that carry. Best of the day for the Saints.
Well, it's all about angles right here. Traquan Smith gets a great block, but you've got to stay outside in on this. There's the block. Now watch. You study your feet. You go inside out. That's when you miss the tackle. Stay on that upfield shoulder right here if you're McLeod and force the back to come back inside. He doesn't do it. He takes the improper angle, and that's why they have had issues in tackling here in Philadelphia.
There's a carry for Dwayne Washington diving ahead. Eagles came in with the 2nd most missed tackles in the NFL defensively this year. Only the Chargers had more. The Saints, by comparison, have the 2nd fewest. There's a difference of about 30 there. But you thought last week, and Jonathan Gannon felt the same, that they tackled much better against the Broncos.
They did last week. You see the play sheet right there. That's a tight menu. That's what he calls that, tight menu. I don't have a whole lot of plays on here. We just want to execute them well. That was just about not executing your tackling technique by McLeod.
Well, that'll take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Philadelphia looking for its first home win in front of a full house in nearly 2 years. 33-7 to the 4th. The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, in the 6th most populous city in America. Philadelphia, where the first library in America was founded in 1731. The first hospital 20 years after that. 2nd down and 7 for the Saints to start the 4th. T.J. Edwards was right there from Mark Ingram, who could not secure it. Maybe heard the racing footsteps of Edwards en route.
Love it. T.J. Edwards just sees the play right from the word go, and he understands exactly what they're trying to do. And what a game he's had today, huh?
2nd year out of Wisconsin. Old teammate of Jonathan Taylor, who we were just talking about, listening to Carissa let us know about. 8 tackles for T.J. Edwards today. This defense really did make a nice turn when he and Davion Taylor started to step into the lineup. Taylor's done, as is Sean Bradley, both dealing with injury. Nice throw from Siemian, right down the seam. It's a touchdown for Marquez Callaway, his 3rd straight game with a score. 26-yard strike.
Well, he gets matched up one-on-one with Avonte Maddox down here in the bottom of your screen, and look at him push him out there to create a little space between that middle of the field defender there, McLeod. So he just pushes him out enough on the route, on the release, to create an open avenue, an open window for that throw by Siemian. Beautifully executed by Callaway and Siemian.
Touchdown against Atlanta and against Tennessee. The Saints, well documented, they have struggled going for 2 the last couple of years. Fake the toss, tipped and incomplete. That is 9 straight that they have failed on since week 14 3 years ago. TJ Edwards with the tip. 20-point game. Good mood if you're wearing green right now here in Philadelphia. Eagles in front and in command. Good touchdown pass, though, from Simeon to Callaway. Marquez has had a really nice stretch these last few games. Now 6 touchdowns this year. Maher will kick away. There is Jalen Reagor on the return from the 1. Good coverage. There's a flag thrown from the near side.
During the return, personal foul, legal double team block on the receiving team, number 84 and 89. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Ward and Stoll on the penalty. It's Philadelphia ball. Celebrate Christmas with that classic boom. Fox Sports proudly presents a documentary tribute to one of football's most beloved figures. The coach, the broadcaster, the video game, all Madden, premiering Christmas Day on Fox. Can't wait.
I can't either, and I just such a huge John Madden fan. Obviously, we all were as players. When he showed up to your practice, you knew it was a big game.
Yeah.
You got excited. You saw John Madden there watching. Yeah,
absolutely. You got the sense that there was a little bit more to it. You heard Peyton Manning in one of those clips talk about it. It was awesome. Carissa Thompson's got a game break for us. What's up, buddy?
Well, let me tell you, Packers trailing 23-17. Adam, when Aaron Rodgers finds his favorite target, back-to-back drives hitting Devontae Adams, this time 18-yard score. Packers up 24-23. Adam?
And now that's big for the Eagles as well. Remember, the day began with Philadelphia outside looking in, and still we got a long way to go this year. But now we've gotten to the point where we start keeping an eye on it. And the Vikings, 1 up in the loss column on Philadelphia, entering action today. So this could be a big swing game in that race as it begins. Hurts, deep over. Good break up there. But this guy has just really good savvy and awareness. Marcus Williams has made 3 really good defensive plays today.
And that's film study, knowing exactly what they're running, the over route. You see the hand on the hip, but he doesn't turn Jackson, the receiver right there, uses the extension of the other arm to break that pass up. You're right, just some savvy plays by the veteran Marcus Williams.
His 3rd pass breakup today. 3rd down and 7. Hurts. Oh, this time he was looking for Goddard, who's been such a safety blanket on 3rd down. That's the first drop from Dallas Goedert.
It's a great throw, too, and Goddard can feel P.J. Williams coming down on his back right now. He knows he's about ready to get hit, so he's going to try to catch this and avoid. And he forgets the first part. Got to catch it before you can avoid the safety. Nice 3 and out there by the Saints. Start this fourth quarter with a 3 and out after a score.
Here is Harris. And at worst, you set up great field position because of that defensive stand. The Saints will have it back. Well, the tradition on Fox continues. We come together for some food, some family. Of course, we got some football for you, too. Coverage begins on Thanksgiving Day at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, a special edition of Fox NFL pregame. That's on Fox and the Fox Sports app, leading you right into Bears and Lions. A traditional Thanksgiving Day game for the Detroit Lions coming up. They trail the Browns right now. Bears lead the Ravens by 1 in the 4th quarter. Lions trail the Browns by 6 in the 4th quarter today.
This is interesting right now. We're getting, you know, the Saints going to make this interesting. Great field position here on this drive.
Simeon starts with the play action fake. And a good throw. He's got Traquan Smith inside the 20. Run out of bounds by Steven Nelson.
And remember, the best corner on their roster, Slay, went to the locker room. Nice little throw on the over route by Traquan Smith, and out of bounds. You're in business. Marching.
You mentioned it. Slay had to go back to the locker room. Zach McPherson, the rookie out of Texas Tech, is in. Steven Nelson is the corner on the opposite side of McPherson. Pitch play. Ingram cut and short yardage. Good reaction by the Philadelphia defense, led by Milton Williams, the rookie out of Louisiana Tech. He knows the state of Louisiana and the Saints well.
If Ingram was a Waze app, it'd always be up the middle. That's like, if he was using that.
You're saying it's the fastest route.
It's the fastest
and avoiding
route.
You're avoiding as much traffic as possible.
He saw some traffic out there, and it said, turn right, turn right.
Turn back to the middle.
Right.
2nd and 9. Simeon avoids the pressure. Trevor Simeon taken off. Touchdown on the ground. His first in 4 years, and boy, things are getting interesting here in the 4th. In fact, that's the longest run of Trevor Simeon's career.
Well, inside of Landon Young, the rookie, who's just fighting tooth and nail to keep his defender off. And Trevor Simeon, I mean, he almost tripped himself with the spike, but that's okay. You got in the end zone anyhow. Puts the ball down here, almost trips over it. You see him go.
Like I said, it's only happened once in his NFL career in 2017. Boy, this continues to be a problem for the Saints. Brett Maher finally gets another opportunity, and he misses. Boy, between Aldrick Rosas missing field goals, Cody Parkey and Brian Johnson missing extra points, and now Brett Maher, the Saints' kicking woes, well documented, continue.
Well, they missed 2 extra points last week.
Yep. That was Brian Johnson, who was waived this week in favor of signing the former Cowboy Maher. Well, obviously, the Eagles have seen a lot of. They've seen him hit a couple of 60-yard field goals against them. It keeps it still at a 14-point game, 12.5 to go, and Simeon.
There's Simeon with the spike now. Look at, he hasn't been in the end zone very often. Throws it, trips his own feet.
Careful, buddy.
Be careful there. That was like when you're walking down the hall in high school and somebody kick your foot and make you trip over your other leg there.
You're always good at bringing back fond memories for me. Thanks, buddy.
That's before they stuffed you in the locker, right. Adam. That was right before they stuffed you in the locker.
Well, 2 quick strikes, though. 2 minutes and 16 seconds off the clock here in the 4th quarter, and the Saints have been able to score 2 touchdowns in that span to get it back to within 14. And a nice bounce back from Simeon after he threw a couple of picks. He's come back with a touchdown through the air and 1 on the ground. There's Jalen Reagor on the return. And again, the special teams unit with good coverage for New Orleans. Andrew Dowell, who's been a special teams maven this year. So a long field in front of Philadelphia's offense. Again, still a long way to go. 12.5 remains.
Tons of time left, and now it's all about, what you were doing in that first half, the way you ran the football, the way you set up your play action off of that stuff. Can you get back into that rhythm? Sometimes you fall out of a little rhythm. You're trying to run clock, and you just don't have that same kind of, that same kind of excitement, that same kind of ability that you had early. Now that it's important for them to get that back, obviously, here.
Back to the ground game. Boston Scott, and there's the front. Marcus Davenport and Quan Alexander. A tackle for loss to start this series.
Wow, Davenport just attacking it. And when you watch him here, he's just going to come down and attack this thing right here. Bam! Hits the tackle that's on the pole. And as soon as you see that, Boston Scott thinks, okay, I've got the inside now. And he bounces off that. Davenport's played so well for this Saints team in the run. Put them behind the chains right down. That's what they do. Put you behind the chains and now make you one-dimensional.
Eagles had so much success on 3rd down and short early. Then they saw a lot of 3rd down and longs. 2nd and long here. Hurts to the sticks for Goddard. Incomplete. Malcolm Jenkins in coverage, the former Eagle and Saints Super Bowl champ for both teams.
For Goddard there, just an out route. And this is a beautifully thrown ball. Right on the hands, and that's back-to-back drops for Goddard.
He had 1 all year coming in. The guy who's cleaned up his hands the last couple of seasons, but unable to secure that one. Third and long.
Guys walked up on the line of scrimmage, showing blitz.
They're going to bring just 4, and it still gets to Hurts. Now it's Cameron Jordan on the other side closing it out, and now the restlessness has begun here in Philadelphia a little bit. Just 60 Philadelphia yards here in the second half.
Well, they're going to get some pick stunts here. They're going to bring guys around here, over here, and so they're picking off the center right there. You see the pressure, and then Cam Jordan falling off the block of Mailata.
That's how you get penetration with just 3 or 4. The stunts and the tricks that you play up front.
Well, you walk everybody up, right, to show the blitz, and then you bail out of it, and it makes you a little bit late as an offensive line to create those pick stunts.
There's Harris. Trying to outrun Singleton. And the rest of the Eagles catch up, including Andre Sachere. Near midfield is where New Orleans will start this next series. And Trevor Siemian will go back to work. Got off to a slow start, and obviously has picked things up as the game has gone on.
Yeah, he started off with a pick right there, and then throwing it back shoulder for Troutman was really good, and falling away there at the end of the first half. Slay taking it all the way to the house for the pick 6, but he has battled back. That's one thing you got to love about him. The touchdown to Callaway, and then scrambling here for the rushing touchdown.
2 good series back-to-back within 2 scores. Just under 11 minutes to play. Deep drop. Siemian hit as he throws, launches for Callaway, out of bounds, incomplete. Javon Hargrave got the pressure on Trevor Siemian.
Yeah, Javon Hargrave in the center right here. Watch him just keep working. Splits the double team, and then really nice job.
Personal foul. Roughing the pass on the defense, number 97. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
They did throw the flag on Hargrave.
I think his helmet just slid up underneath the chin right there. You see the crown of the helmet?
Yep.
The top of the helmet. He's not lowering the helmet. It just slid up through from the chest onto the face mask. But you know how they're protecting quarterbacks, right? Anything that goes to their head, they're going to throw that flag. And Philadelphia Eagle fans not happy right now. I think she disagreed with the call.
This is the 10th straight play for the Saints in Philadelphia territory. So now they're using field position to their advantage. Running the ball with Ingram for 7 there. Sean Payton and this offense, which got off to a slow start. They've had some slow starts this season. The game against Carolina early in the year obviously sticks out. They've had some good ones too. Not trying to do it with Siemian.
They've had a lot of production in the fourth quarter, especially here the last few weeks.
Yeah, they've been one of the best fourth quarter teams. Both of these teams have been very good in the fourth quarter this year offensively. There's another churn with Ingram, and he'll get to the line to gain.
And here's what shows you how good a coach Sean Payton is, right? You're in a situation in your fourth quarter, you're down by 2 scores, and what do? You continue to run the football. Why? Because it's setting up play action, and it's keeping that pass rush that has been just tormenting Trevor Siemian this whole game. It's keeping that slowed down.
Screen set up for Troutman, read perfectly. That is Anthony Harris, who is right on it. Loss of 5 on the play.
Well, you've got Sweat coming off the edge with the pressure. Number 94 right here. But as he releases that, Harris all the way from about 12 yards deep reads that play, defeats the block of Hurst right there, the offensive lineman, 74. Fired up on the defensive side.
2nd and long for New Orleans. Siemian fires. What a grab attempt that was by Troutman, and he comes down with it past the sticks. What a catch by Adam Troutman.
Great catch, just high-lowing underneath here. Troutman deep. You've got the running back Ingram underneath, and a beautiful throw and catch from Siemian to Troutman. McPherson can't get off. He's got the flat. He's the flat defender, so he can't get there back to help the safety.
He sacrificed Get that one. Had the grass in the helmet. He is being tended to by the training staff. 5th catch of the day, back-to-back weeks, a career high for Troutman. We'll step aside.
You know how some carriers give you so little for your older busted.
Troutman limping off the field. Watch his left leg as it kind of whips down to the turf here in Philadelphia.
Yeah, you can see him high point the ball, but now watch this foot hit. That knee gets stretched out, and that's what they were looking at.
Nick Vanette is in at tight end. Handoff for Ingram. And a short gain on the play into Josh Sweat on the stop. Approaching 8.5 to go. 12 straight points for New Orleans to get back within 2 touchdowns.
And this is what you love. This is what Sean Payton loves about his quarterback, Trevor Siemian. Regardless of the situation, he is the same. Like, his pulse never rises. And that's what he's been able to do. Started off really poorly, but look at him drive this football team, get this football team back in this game.
Siemian lofts it, incomplete. Throw it away to set up 3rd down and 9. 8 minutes to go. And some injury issues for the Philadelphia defense. Bradley, Taylor, Darius Slay had gone back to get tended to as well. Slay's still not out there. And now the Saints have 3rd down and 9.
What's your best 3rd down call here? Who's your best matchup guy on 3rd down? Callaway has been the guy so far in critical situations that they've gone to.
Harris, nothing there. Harris on Harris. It was Anthony Harris who made the stop on Deontay.
Well, Anthony Harris, I mean, coming down here from that position in the safety, see his heels, and just reading this is the second screen that he's just defeated. He defeated that tight end screen earlier, and then just reading it, understanding it, where you want to go with the football.
Well, the kicking unit is on. It's 4th and 7. They're obviously inside the 20 here, but they are going to go for a field goal. This will be Brett Maher's first field goal attempt with the Saints. And he's able to slide it through to add points. That does cut the lead down to 11. Still 7:14 to play. It's still a 2-possession game. I was wondering if maybe Sean Payton would think about going for it. Tough situation, obviously 4th and 7, but I thought there was a chance that they would go for it on 4th down there.
Yeah,
try to get a touchdown on this drive.
And I thought that's why they threw the bubble screen, a little smoke out there, right, to Deontay Harris. If you break a tackle, you know, you end up scoring or you end up doing that, but I thought maybe they would go that way.
Jalen Hurts will get ready to go offensively. Trevor Siemian's been much sharper. So the pick 6 at the end of the first half obviously really turned this and made it a 27-7 halftime lead. Since then, Siemian's been very sharp.
He really has been. You see the seam route down to Callaway right there, avoiding the rush, and then seeing the opening, taking off right there on the touchdown. And it's his knowledge of the game. He is smart. He knows where to go with the football, but his heart rate never raises. It never rises to the point where he is nervous. He's able to keep himself calm and collected in these pressure-packed situations.
Rager again. It's wrapped up by Caden Ellis. Saints with 15 unanswered points here in the 4th quarter. It was 33-7 after the 4th field goal by Jake Elliott. You see the difference by half. Obviously, impressive stuff from the New Orleans defense as well to get back into the game, but Eagles have it 7 to play.
Such a hard thing to do when you have that kind of lead, to start milking the clock and you get out of a rhythm a little bit. And I understand you want to be able to play that 4-minute offense, but you've got to stay with what what got you to that point as well.
Hurts with immediate pressure from Jordan, got rid of it to the perimeter for Rager, and Quan Alexander was right there to read it. So now Philadelphia is behind the chains again.
Quan Alexander just flying out here, man to man. Sees the play. You get Cam Jordan knocking people around, but here he is, Quan Alexander, with another tackle there for no gain, maybe a yard loss, and now you've put him behind the chains again. Just out of rhythm. And remember, the guy that was really running that football well for them, a guy that was really keeping them in front of the chains is Howard. He's been out with an injury.
Fake it, throw it. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, his first target of the season and his first catch, and it's a big one. Out near midfield, a gain of 23 for the third-year man out of Stanford, a second-round pick in 2019.
And this is what happens to you. Watch right here. P.J. Williams comes in here. He sees the read. He thinks, it's a throw. You get him with the RPO right where he should be, sitting in zone. And Arcega-Whiteside with a huge first down for the Eagles.
He hadn't been used a lot in the pass game, really at all. He'd been in there as a blocker more often than not over the course of the season. He's only played about 10% of the snaps, but he comes up with a clutch catch. Now back to the ground game, and it's Sanders with a good run. He'll pick up 7.
And that was a perfect example of why the run complements the pass. When you can do that, you get guys guessing, you get guys thinking, you get guys reading things that they shouldn't read. You get them out of position, and then a simple 6-yard dump off becomes a big-time gain for a first down.
Sanders. Let's see where they mark him down. Looks like probably 3rd and short coming up. Shy Tuttle on the stop. We duck inside of 5 minutes to play. Quarterback sneak. Yep. Biggest thing right now is ball security for Jalen Hurts. Looks like he probably has enough for the first down, and he does, according to Scott Novak. So 4:20 to go, and it's a fresh center downs for the Eagles, up 11.
Now you got to start worrying about that clock if you're the New Orleans Saints, right? You got 3 timeouts. You've got the 2-minute warning as well.
They'll use their first timeout here with 4:23 to play. While we got a moment, Carissa Thompson's got a game break for us. What you got, bud?
Thanks, Ed. I'm letting you guys know what's coming up next. It's America's Game of the Week. Dak Prescott and the Cowboys' #1 offense taking on Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs on the road. KC looking for its 4th straight win. It's all coming up next. America's Game of the Week.
One meeting so far for Philadelphia with Dallas. That came in week 3. We'll see a lot of the division coming up towards the end of the year. Trying to finish off this game, though. Nick Sirianni seeking his first home victory as the head coach of Philadelphia.
Well, what'd he tell us? Strength on strength matchup. We look forward to it, right? This is the perfect time. 4-minute offense, strength on strength, our run game against your run defense. Let's see who's better.
Right now on this play, it's Miles Sanders. Gets the first down on a 14-yard gain inside the 30 of New Orleans.
Love Mailata on the edge. I mean, he's going to go off here, then he's going to go up top. The twofer, they call that. Block the edge, then get to the second level. It's 6'8", 365, and create nothing but running room for Sanders.
Jordan Mailata, that's a big man right there at 6'8", 350. Another guy in that 2018 draft class that signed an extension this year. And off again. And Sanders turns out a short gain. Boston Scott, beg your pardon, turns it out.
It's amazing because I look at offensive line plays, the most skilled. I mean, you know, it's mano a mano, your feet, your hands. You got to be so skilled. Mailata right there. That guy played rugby in Australia. Australian race rules football, one of those two. I think they're the same to me. I don't even know the difference. But he's playing that kind of stuff. And you know, you talk about a guy that comes over here and he's brand new to this game. He's still learning this game. And he's a physically dominant specimen. But he has really become a good football player in a very short period of time. And I tell you, it's just impressive. The other thing is, you ever heard him sing?
He's a very talented singer. We did see some
songbird of our generation, crying out loud.
Sanders back in. He is. Stop is made. Saints have one more remaining timeout, and they'll use it right here with 4:09 to go in front of a third down to try to stay in this game. They need the stop. The Eagles are currently within field goal range. Dennis Allen, the defensive coordinator, seeking a stop. This is the first time all year that his defense has given up 30 points in a game. The Saints had the second longest streak in the NFL of games without allowing 30 points. They had 10 straight. The longest streak is still ongoing. It belongs to the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have gone 40 games without allowing 30 points.
I mean, to be that consistent for that period of time, that's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
40 and then 10. It's a big drop off. Third down and 6. A big third down. Hurts keeps. Hurts cuts. Hurts has the first down. And Jalen Hurts might have just put it away for the Eagles. Touchdown. His third of the day.
Well, what do we talk about? The surf technique. Well, when my athlete's better than your athlete that's surfing, guess what? It's time to go to the beach because I'm gone. Stick my foot in the ground and roll. Jalen Hurts breaking ankles. Granderson right there. Forget about it. Take it to the house, young man.
Three rushing touchdowns for the first time in his NFL career. Jalen Hurts, 70 yards on the ground, and the ground game after 246 rushing yards last year against the Saints, 244 this year, and the last 24 put together by Jalen Hurts with some nifty maneuvering.
Put your foot in the ground, cut against the grain, and hang a 40 burger on him. Jalen Hurts, #1.
Somebody tossed the jersey.
Yeah, go ahead.
There you
Throw
go,
it back
buddy.
to him. Look at that. Nick Sirianni. Did we just become best friends? Look at him. So excited, so connected with his players. And again, Adam, your ability to look at what you're doing, to have the humility to go, what I'm doing is not working. This is what I wanted. Let's completely change the balance of our offense. Let's put our players in better positions. And that's what Nick Sirianni has done with the Philadelphia Eagles and Jalen Hurts.
What's the percentage you gave me the last 4 weeks? It's 63% run. Today, it is 65% run. So the plan has continued over the course of this last month for Nick Sirianni and the Eagles. They've maintained consistency in that regard. Big day for Jalen Hurts, in particular on the ground. This has been a big ground attack for the Philadelphia Eagles, and Hurts has done a good chunk of damage on the ground.
And anytime you run the ball as well as they have, it's not just the running game. It's the offensive line. It's the running backs. It's Jalen Hurts. And then look at the receivers down the field trying to help out as well. Everybody gets a piece of that action.
Simeon, Ingram, Edwards and Singleton rally to the ball. Really solid balance all day in terms of production for the Eagles. 147 through the air for Hurts, 70 on the ground. Miles Sanders has 94 yards on the ground as well. Ingram gets hit by Rodney McLeod on the check down. Third down coming up, 3.5 to go.
Well, this has got to be one of those situations for the Eagles right now where you gain a ton, just a ton of confidence. And forget about offensively because they've been running the ball. They've had confidence. I'm talking about this defense right now. your ability not only to play clean, to make tackles. You've had, I think, one missed tackle that cost you a little bit, but to rush the passer, to put the pressure on, and to implement your blitz game. And that's what Jonathan Gannon has really done. 3 takeaways as well. I mean, everything has come together for this Eagles defense.
Another screen, gets Ingram, and an ankle tackle by Alex Singleton. He's been one of the biggest culprits in that regard. He's had one of the highest missed tackle rates on this defense, and we've seen a couple of nice plays from him in the absence of Davion Taylor when he got hurt.
Well, we were at practice on Friday, and they were actually doing tackling drills. They were practicing that aspect of the game, and really, oftentimes it's about trying to blow people up and saying, hey, don't blow people up. Just wrap up the legs and get them on the ground, and that's something they've been focusing on under Jonathan Gannon. There you see him right there with that little tiny play sheet. That's the smallest play sheet in the history of the NFL right now. That's like when you go to one of those restaurants and they only have the one sheet.
Sure.
Like, you still get a great meal there, right?
Well, you say you do a couple things well rather than try to do everything okay. Nick Van Ent makes a catch, and there's Dwayne Washington. Now, usually you see those play sheets are deep. You've seen the offensive coordinator play sheets too. Obviously, they're a little more expanded. But those defensive coordinators have a lot of options. They trimmed down the menu a little bit today.
King.
2 minutes to go for the Eagles to try to secure a home victory for the first time this year. Stay right in the mix of that NFC playoff picture, which is just starting to evolve and get going. We're in week 11 now. There is Ingram. He's got the first down. Clock will continue to move as TJ Edwards makes the stop.
Well, there's that missed tackle we were talking about, right? Ingram putting it on him right there, the okey doke.
That was a nice cut.
Great cut. And much like Simeon earlier in the game, tripping over your own feet.
Here is Simeon on the rollout. Tosses end zone, incomplete. That'll bring up second down. We'll check in with Chris Thompson. Things heating up late, bud.
Oh, yeah. We went back and forth, and I've updated you guys on this game all day long, but there is a final now. Greg Joseph's 29-yard field goal attempt was good. Vikings win their second in a row and improve to 5-5.
Big win against the Chargers last week, and they put down the Packers today in a divisional matchup. And suddenly Minnesota has leapfrogged Carolina into the last playoff spot, into the 7th spot. They're 5-5 now. Off the hands of Traquan Smith and nearly picked up by Rodney McLeod. Third down.
Now Traquan Smith sees it right here. He sees he's about ready to get hit. Watch him. He goes, oh, looking at who is that? Alex Singleton coming across there to get the hit, and it goes right through McLeod's hands. Well, that'll happen, right? You hear those footsteps coming on you. And this is important for Philadelphia, just to keep them out of the end zone right here. That's a pride thing as a defense. Don't give up another point, guys. Rally around. Let's get it off. Let's get a stop and get off this field.
Simeon throws a dart, and what a catch this time by Traquan Smith. Inside the 5, it's first and goal for New Orleans. Nice play.
Really nice play. High point the ball. Simeon takes one on the top of the head as well on the pass rush. Missed, and look at the height, the extension by Traquan. Again, it's so important for this defense. Not that it means anything, but it means something to them from a pride standpoint to keep New Orleans out of the end zone.
Simeon, one-on-one on the outside. Perfectly placed ball, and it's Lil Jordan Humphrey for the touchdown. Third touchdown pass of the day for Trevor Simeon.
Well, he just throws it because the DB, Steven Nelson, never turns his head. He never looks for the football, so he just throws it. He sees the back of the helmet facing him right there, and he says, I'm just going to put it up here, let my receiver adjust his body to the football I throw.
Little Jordan Humphrey at 6'4", 225. Steven Nelson at 5'11", 194.
Yeah, the height and the size doesn't matter unless you grow eyes in the back of your head. You don't get your head around. You can't adjust to that football.
40-29 the score, 45 seconds to go. When we're done here in Philadelphia, don't forget, America's Game of the Week is on tap. Cowboys and Chiefs is our headline game. Mahomes and Prescott. Speaking of Mississippi State Bulldogs, Dak will go up against Patrick Mahomes. Cardinals and Seahawks as well, with Colt McCoy in a quarterback for Arizona as Kyler Murray continues to be on the mend. Well, speaking of the Cowboys, they'll finish the season with Dallas. And obviously this is a big win for Philadelphia. We mentioned the key swing game in the wild card race. These are games that often you look back on in Week 17, Week 18 and go, oh, that was the win that helped them get command in that spot. This is a very favorable schedule. Giants and Jets have struggled. You got 5 divisional games in that final stretch. So your schedule is right in front of you if you're the Eagles, obviously for the other NFC East teams as well, as Goddard secures the onside kick to put it away. This is a big win for Philadelphia, and this could lead to some things going forward.
Yeah, it's a huge win for this Philadelphia Eagle team, the way they played. And look at this right here, 3 rushing touchdowns today, the first Eagle quarterback in the history of the franchise.
Remember, Michael Vick played here for a long time, and they've had some really talented quarterbacks. Randall Cunningham obviously had a big body and could do some very good things in the run game if need be. So that is impressive company to be in, to be the first Eagles quarterback to have 3 rushing touchdowns in a game.
Yeah, I played in the NFC East back when Randall Cunningham was playing, and that guy was a phenomenal athlete.
Absolutely. Well, Sean Payton's team in really what feels like uncharted territory. They're going to suffer their first 3-game losing streak since the beginning of the 2016 season. And they're on a short week this week. They'll have 2 Thursday games in a row coming up with the Bills and then the Cowboys. You still have the Bucs in a divisional game later in the season. So it's going to be tough churning. The Saints aren't anywhere near out of it. They're going to be 5-5, and they're going to be in the mix, but it's going to get tough in terms of schedule. The Eagles have an easier schedule en route, and they finally get Nick Sirianni's first home win as the head coach of Philadelphia. The State Farm Game Break is coming up next. The Eagles win it 40-29 for Mark Schlereth and our fantastic Fox Sports crew. Adam Amin saying so long. A lot of fun games in this opening window to get you caught up on during our State Farm Game Break, and then it's all leading up to America's Game of the Week. It'll be Cowboys and Chiefs coming up. To Los Angeles, Kurt Menefee and company will take care of you.